$5 trillion. Remember that number. I'm going to come back to that later. Backing more women-led companies will transform the tech industry. Over the past 20 years, I've built my career in Silicon Valley. I've been a leader of 6 startups, including Path, Boingo, and Acompli, which was bought by Microsoft and is now Outlook Mobile. Hopefully many of you have that on your phones today. I'm proud to say that of the 6 startups, 4 were acquired, 2 became publicly traded companies. My first startup was Software.com. It was an email tech company. And I guess I like email because I started an email and I ended an email. It didn't exactly end, but that was the last company I sold. In 1996, personal email was not a thing. You had voicemail, and my friend said, "What are you doing going to an email company? Who's going to have a personal email address?" Well, I guess we all know that answer. Now I sit on the other side of the table as a venture capital investor. I invest money in startups that have incredible growth potential, like email. There's a risk in putting up these funds. A company could fold before making it big, but there's also an opportunity for above average returns if you make the right investments. My colleagues and I invest in companies that build software to fundamentally disrupt the enterprise. I hear pitches or meet with 10 to 20 founders every week, and only 10% of the startup pitches I hear are from women founders. I'm a focus group of 1, but this data is indicative of a much larger problem. The research backs it up. Women are about half as likely as their male counterparts to start a new business. Since the founding of the New York Stock Exchange in 1817, only 22 companies have been taken public by women. Most recently, Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder and CEO of Bumble, an app for dating, networking, and meeting friends. That's 1 woman every 10 years taking a company public. Meanwhile, hundreds of companies go public every year. 2020 saw a 27% year-over-year decrease in venture funding to women entrepreneurs. That decrease matters because the baseline was so low. In 2019, all female founding teams earned just 2.8% of the capital invested across the entire US startup ecosystem. The situation gets worse when you look beyond companies making products for women as consumers. According to Crunchbase, women building companies that offer gender-neutral products and services amass only 54% of the funding that female-founded, women-centric companies receive. In other words, as a woman founder, you're likely to get more money if you're building a woman's cosmetic brand than if you're starting a cloud infrastructure company. I'm sure you've heard these stats before, but right now, they've never been more urgent. The global pandemic has triggered more family care needs, and according to NPR, women are dropping out of the workforce at 4 times the rate of men. All in, over 2 million women have dropped out of the workforce to date. How do we solve the problem? How do we help more women build big careers, lead successful startups, and take companies public? I have 3 suggestions. 1, inclusive representation. Right now, if you search for company founders, you're likely to see a photo that looks like this. Don't get me wrong. I understand these guys have built very impactful technology, but it's time to extend the spotlight to more people. We need to flood the internet with coverage of great women founders. When we're talking about the most successful entrepreneurs, we need to talk about Rihanna or Tory Burch or Oprah, and not just Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie. I actually had the great honor to serve on a panel along 2 incredible women, entrepreneurs, pictured in the center column here. Lisa Price, who was the founder of Carol's Daughter, a beauty brand and pioneer of the natural hair care renaissance, and Joy Manganiello, inventor of the Miracle Mop and huggable hangers, and many other things. She used to appear on the Home Shopping Network. I'm sure some of you have seen that. These women bootstrapped their businesses and achieved incredible success. But I can't help but wonder what they could have achieved if they had received the funding and support, the backing they deserved earlier on. As children's rights activist Miriam Wright Edelman has written, it's hard to be what you can't see. In our collective remembering of this quote, we take it a step further. You cannot be what you can't see. To expand opportunities for women, we need to proactively promote the visibility of women. To activate the next generation of iconic female CEOs, we need to elevate more women founders across the board. Women who are young, women who are old, women of different races and ethnicities, women who are pregnant, women who are moms, women who are single. Let's put them all on a pedestal. Let's seek out and celebrate the diverse stories of entrepreneurship. The next way we can support more women entrepreneurs is through check writing and hiring or promoting more women in venture capital. There actually are some hopeful trends here. In 2019, the number of female check writers in VC grew from 9 to 12%. But progress is slow, and it deserves more attention. We need to elevate venture capital investing as a career to more college-age women. We need to eliminate the myth that venture capital is accessible only to Ivy Leaguers or former founders. Careers in venture need to be accessible to everyone to better realize more equitable distribution of venture funding. In a career that is so dependent on personal networks to surface great investment opportunities, we will invest more inclusively when those personal networks diversify. A third way we can support women building big careers is through comprehensive parental leave. We need mandatory paid parental leave at the national level. The United States is the only developed country without mandated paid parental leave. I actually experienced this firsthand. When I was pregnant 23 years ago with my daughter Emma, I was working for a big tech company. I was one of 2 women in the sales team, and we didn't have a maternity leave policy. I could take time off and not get paid, or I could go back into the office and earn my commission. So I had my daughter on a Wednesday, C-section, and I was back in the office on Monday. Luckily, parental leave is becoming a competitive benefit at many corporations. But not everyone works at a large company, and we need to ensure that everyone has the support they need at the big life milestone of growing a family. You'll note this slide says parental leave and not maternity leave. Josh Labs is a top global expert on modern dads at work, and in a recent piece on Melinda Gates' website Evoke, he shared a crucial part of the fight for gender equality has long stayed in the shadows: support for men as caregivers. When women no longer have to internalize the problem of caregiving, when it's actually a shared responsibility and there are supportive policies in place, we will empower an incredible wave of women's leadership. Why should you care about all this? What do we have to gain by empowering more women to build big careers and lead companies? Number 1, better workplaces. Research says women in the workplace inspire organizational dedication. They decrease employee burnout, and they increase job satisfaction, and they activate more meaningful work. Number 2, there's a faster pace of innovation. Research out of Southern Denmark University shows that companies that want more innovation should increase the number of women in leadership positions. There's a direct correlation there. And number 3, financial return on investment. These 2 final stats are from BCG. Businesses founded by women ultimately deliver higher revenue, more than twice as much per dollar invested than those founded by men. If women and men participated equally as entrepreneurs, the global GDP could rise by $5 trillion. There's that number. Gross domestic product is an indicator of economic health. In other words, investing in women will make our global economy much stronger. We cannot afford to continue ignoring or underestimating women founders. We have so much to gain by empowering more women to build and lead great companies. Backing women will transform the tech industry. Thank you.